you know, we talked about Champs League, but in the game to really come away with a victory here.
Yeah, it's unprecedented. Like you said, it could be the year where they won MSI IEM World Championship and the World Championship. Everything all in 1 year, even though it has been that up and down year domestically. So the adaptations have to come now. And as we said, on Blue's side, they just don't have that much flexibility.
No, that is definitely a problem. But if we look at like the individual players,
Sure.
Faker is winning his lane every single game. He's getting ahead of Koro. He's doing his job. Last game, Duke actually did just fine up in the top lane as well. He got out laning phase with even in CS, and he was started to outscale on the Echo. So both solo laners, if they play like last game, are going to be fine. It's just about saving the bot lane. Like, that's the key thing. So that's why I want to see them again take that Ashe themselves or completely remove it to make sure to make sure that
I say yes because I'm having too much fun. I want to see the games, right? Plus, I have to.
Right. All right, so wishful thinking, saying that we're going to go to a 5th game. All right, it's time to send it back to the casters for picks and bans.
Thank you very much, Dash. We are all excited here to have one, maybe if we're lucky, 2 more games of League of Legends. That's not to say that I'm like hoping SKT wins. I just want more games of these excellent teams doing awesome things.
Well, these games have been so incredibly close, and I think we had a wrinkle to it now, and they sub back in Bengi, the jungle, as he is so nicknamed. Yeah. And it's interesting, as Deficio pointed out, how it's going to change the ban phase, because usually when they have Bengi on their team, they ban Nidalee on the blue side, which already cuts into how would they play around MF? Do they have freedom to ban Ashe? Not really, so they're going to have to find a different way to adapt to those things.
But a few small changes, even as early as the 5 to 10 minute mark, and one different pick can change the entire game, honestly, because if they don't keep Snow...
That tweak because he's been super good at it. The question is now, Nidalee was unbanned.
Yeah.
So Bengi, unless they want to give it over to Peanut, has to play the Nidalee.
And he has to perform. We haven't seen this champion really go off in this tournament because it's been banned so often.
And 2 of the losses that Rox Tigers had in the group stage were to Nidalee. They lost to CLG and Albus Nox playing this champion.
And it gives Ashe Zyra straight over to Rox Tigers. They're probably going to play Caitlyn Karma against it. But it's so interesting, too, because you wonder, you know, how has Bengi been able to train as Nidalee? He didn't play it during the regular season. He's not known as a Nidalee player. You can't practice the champion in solo queue because it's permabanned there as well. So they would have had to be playing a lot of...
Or again, make sure he gets into the game, speed him up in the team fights. At least you have some crowd control effects there because you're playing with a jungler that is purely damage focused and doesn't have CC.
The Hover right now is on the Rumble here. 30 seconds to go until that one times out here. It just feels like time and again, Rox get everything they could want, and as the team that's playing better, this feels good for them to close this out.
I almost want to see a Poppy here into the Gnar for Sven, but it feels like he just wants to be more of a damage threat.
Too bad, Crepo. He's going Rumble. That once again
sucks for me. But yeah, he has the, if he does the same thing he did in the last 2 games, which is switch up the lanes he goes to, doesn't use his teleport, just goes to the lane immediately, plays around enemy teleport advantage very well, uses Fog of War.
Summoner's Cup, the chance in the finals on the line here. SK Telecom T1 versus Rox Tigers, Game 4, here we go!
Alright, let's track it here. Very condensed Rox lineup, looking for a potential face check punish. It's getting very spread here. If somebody tries to challenge River Vision, a single axe could blow Faker's flash here. Or it could not.
They thought he would be waiting in the brush. Faker was waiting in plain sight, but they...
Gromp into blue buff, got a partial leash from Duke, and Peanut should have been communicated that the Raptors were gone, so he will stay and do a more power farming focused route. All 3 camps on the same side of his jungle. He'll walk over top side later, and he, I believe, never gets spotted by a ward doing this, so there's no guarantee that SKT knows exactly what camp he's on.
But they knew he started without a leash, which means they can actually extrapolate that he likely is going to be very low after his first clear.
Yeah, and probably started blue buff to be able to secure that.
Yeah. You know, with all the jungle mind games going on as well, you still have to pay attention to the mechanics of the lane. And bottom lane right there, Bang had a great step forward off of one of the Zyra E's and was able to get a very positive trade.
Look at Peanut though, he passed by mid lane, avoids the jungle. He doesn't know where Nidalee is. If he gets contested on that Spellcraft that he's doing right now, he is going to go down. So this is a little bold. Even though these guys are separate parts of the map, we have to look at what the information is present to the teams, not to us.
Yeah, and this is my thought on Peanut's decision-making process. He knows that they late warded a spot that was warded by SKT. So that means SKT is expecting that Peanut's going to do a generally normal clear, so he's just making an educated guess that Bengi probably wouldn't invade based off a ward. And now, because he didn't get caught, he knows that Bengi would have done a full clear. These are all the things you have to somehow track in your head while you're laning at the highest level.
In addition to that, he secures the entrances to his jungle first before he goes to clear them. Which means if he gets contested, at least he can spot the Nidalee coming in early. God forbid she's in the jungle already, at least he got the Scuttler Trap for his trouble.
Yeah, Bengi right now was about a full camp ahead. At this point, it's going to be an equal trade overall. Every single jungler took 6 camps in a Scuttle Crab now, so...
He knows
Peanut
the
pull it out
on Kuro.
The mind games here, they know they can get spotted here.
They're going for Kuro. Double bomb on a Kuro. Jalen's going to land this time, and he's going to get the damage. Yes, he is. First blood in for Faker. Over the wall goes Bengi, and so far, so good for the first pick, Nidalee. The chase is still on, but hops over the wall, and Peanut gets nothing done.
And we gotta question Kuro in this matchup. You cannot afford to get double bumped twice in a row. It is possible to sidestep that. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's versus Faker, but getting hit twice by those skill shots in a row costs Rocks the early lead.
One constant in this series has been Faker being able to outplay Kuro early on in the laning phase, and picking the Zillion is a very skill-reliant champion both as and against. And Bengi, it looked like he was feigning to go at Peanut, but with the double bomb, makes the spear automatic. Even though he sees Peanut, Bengi knows he has flash, autos after the execute.
Follow-up, not really. A root on a wolf, and it's a fair bit of damage, but now it's Faker joining in, finding the double bomb and a prey. The curtain call is there, and Peanut's going to block it, so that's going to be all right for them. It is a TP out of Faker, the ghost out of Peanut showing up.
Very surprised that they actually decided to commit to that teleport, not cancel Faker out there. Just his breathing room for Kuro in the mid lane. Just want to touch back to that Smep point. Because these junglers have constantly been revealing each other, obviously top was a free playground for Smep to continuously push in on that Rumble.
Yeah, and when Rumble doesn't have to fear jungle ganks, he will shove in almost all of their top laners. But to talk about the bottom lane again, I'm a little surprised that once again, SKT gets hit by the Ash Arrow exactly on level 6. Like, how many times does that play have to happen? But because they have the double TP, they have the luxury of burning it, so to speak, out of Faker. He loses pressure on the mid lane, but he does harass the bottom lane and prevent a kill.
But this is also part of that teleport, these plays that cannot be evaluated in the vacuum. You gotta look at the kind of minute span that happens right after.
700 gold in the mid game.
All right, there's your proactive play from SKT, and they need to be able to play at this level, being up 3 kills with the Zillion, Karma, Jhin, and the Nidalee. Like, they really do need to start snowballing this game and be able to get to a point where they can just close onto Prey and Gorilla.
We might see even more of that. Talking about some of the gold leads here, the gap has closed in the top lane. You're seeing 86 to 90 up there, so props to Duke for making all that happen. In his trade back and forth, mostly playing around clearing the waves, putting him up to the turret and saying, can we get to the side? Could we get to the mouth of the river? Maybe a little bit here, and it goes away. You see Baker killing wards over this pink ward that's been placed down. That's a little bit of the river is theirs. And, well, they've got this part of the river as well, clearing out this ward that Gorilla just put down.
And this time, SKT's AD carry actually has pick potential himself. It's not an Ash Arrow, but a Curtain Call played well, who combined with Deadly Flourish essentially can do the same thing.
Yeah, not to mention he has the Ghostblade Power Spike right now before Prey can complete the Essence Reaver. They do have a pretty powerful moment right now, but Peanut starts to break while Bengi is in base.
Bengi had finished the
should open
recall.
up the Curtain Call here, try and push them off.
There's no one there to really help them fight. The Nidalee's not there to do battle. The rest could TP in. I think SKT understand they couldn't have really fought for that.
Look where Faker was. He was like meandering around the red buff. Another arrow.
He juked back into it. Bang actually turned back down. The chain CC is there, but Bang is able to flash away, but that is Summoner's down. Now the reopen up onto Gorilla, but Peanut's going to tank the shots, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, shoot at me, I don't care. And the last